Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all from different parts of the world. Let us start with a silent prayer. First of all, a big thanks to all who joined here today on a weekend for this program by the Marian Alumni Career and Professional Development Wing. This series is known as Alumni Career Talk Series. And our today's topic is Demystifying AI, Common Myths and Realities. As we all know, it's a hot topic for today's world. First of all, it is my duty to welcome you all officially. I don't know whether our principal is there. I welcome sir and the faculty, if any are present, and the alumni for the most important part of today. With that, I welcome our today's speaker, Anumod. No introduction needed for this resource person. Anumod Alex was a second batch student, BCA 1999, who's working as a principal software engineering manager at Microsoft, Seattle, Washington, United States of America. He is a seasoned engineer with 22 years of experience in the IT industry, with good hands-on experience in machine learning and artificial intelligence. He has worked on various products and services of Microsoft, Suntech, and Connie. He started his career with our own college, Marian College, and then he worked with Oracle, Suntech, and he started his career with Microsoft in the year 2005. And currently he's working with Microsoft. It's more than 18 years with the Microsoft. Over and above all this, you know Anumod, maybe till what I said now, he has got other traits as well. He's a winner of Hackathon in 2019 and a very social responsible citizen, implemented Toffee, first of its kind in India. He founded an NGO to help the COVID-affected people in India. And as far as we all know, he's a vivid auto enthusiast and a movie lover. He takes care of his health. Most of us, we don't do, but he takes care of his life. He participates in long distance running and all. With that, I'll just say some ground rules before starting off our session. I request all of you to mute your mic and, if possible, turn on your camera. We will have a question and answer session at the end, and you can put your questions in the chat, and then at the end we'll have a question and answer session, a 10 to 15 minute session. With that, in that, Anumod will answer your questions. With that, I welcome Anumod. Now the screen is yours.
Hey, thank you, Jubi. Happy morning, noon, evening to everyone. Thank you for everyone for giving me an opportunity to talk in front of you. Special mention to Twinkle, who put a lot of effort to make this happen. He was behind me every now and then. And even when I said to him that, can we change this to a different time? Because for last 2 months, I had a very tough schedule at work. But he said that, Chada, it's okay. I believe everyone can understand Malayalam. So when I go to the casual topics, I may shift to Malayalam. So if there are anyone who is not familiar with Malayalam, please raise your hand so that I will continue the whole talk in English. So Tingulu പറഞ്ഞു സാരമില്ല ചേട്ടാ നമുക്കത് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും അത് ഇനി മാറ്റണ്ടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. So yeah, that's where we are today. So if I don't thank my dear teachers from this college before I start, who made me what I am today, it will be a big mistake from my side. From the bottom of my heart, I thank all of the teachers who helped me to reach here. From an average student when I joined Marian in 1996, who has never seen a computer before Marian, and to work for the world's largest company, and that too have seen the growth of that company from a $250 billion company to a $3.1 trillion company. It's a honor for me to share the platform of our own Marian alumni and talk to each one of you. Today, I want to touch base on the revolution of, sorry, I have multiple screens here, so my face might be moving here and there. Please bear with me. Today, I want to touch base on the revolution that is happening in artificial intelligence and where it will take us from here to where it is going to be. And we have abundant opportunities in front of us. We just need to embrace the changes, that's all. A rolling stone gathers no moss. Let's remember that old proverb. We are all lucky to witness multiple revolutions in our generation. I'm talking about my generation, so that is not Gen X or Gen Z generation, which the newer people call it. So we witnessed industry revolution, computer revolution, internet revolution, and now we are going to see the AI revolution as well. So whatever we are seeing right now, it is just the tip of the iceberg for the AI revolution. And the AI revolution is going to be the biggest groundbreaking change of the human history. Let's see how it has evolved. Some of the examples where I have personally worked on, and how we can make ourselves to be ready to embark that new journey in our life. So as Juby has said, if you have any questions, you can put those in the chat or you can note it down and we can discuss towards end of the session. So just to give you some context on where I am coming from. So I started working on AI and ML from 2008 onwards. So at that point of time, I was working on Windows 8, and some of the features which we worked in Windows 8 had to use AI. So that was the time first I started working on AI. So from that time onwards, you can say that I was spending some time in AI and ML, and currently I am working in the division of Microsoft, which creates the supercomputer for Azure. So right now also I am connected to that world. So with that, let us get into today's presentation. So here I wanted to borrow some of the content which I presented to some batches of Marian in 2020, where I gave a presentation on what is artificial intelligence and how it's connected to mathematics. And I have given a similar presentation to the Bharatiyar University as well. So some of this might be repetition for you, but please bear with me because I want to set the stage before I go into the details. So what is artificial intelligence? It's a big terminology today, and it's going everywhere. Everywhere it is being talked about what is artificial intelligence, and everyone says that everything is AI. So artificial intelligence in very layman term is about training any object or any platform to act intelligently. So it can be as simple as training your pet like a parrot or a dog or a cat, or creating a software for an autopilot mode in an aeroplane or even in a car. To explain more, a point of sale machine, say the billing machine which you see in all the retail stores, it gets the intelligence to perform billing through its software. So that's also an artificial intelligence solution. The opportunities are wide, and you can do whatever you want to do with machines now. That is where artificial intelligence becomes more truthful in the current scheme of things. We have a big shortage of blue-collar jobs right now. And I'm witnessing that after I moved to US. Blue-collar jobs is, first, you don't get it. Second, if you want to get it, you need to pay like a hell of money. So let's take so I wanted to pivot on farming as an example when we talk through our entire series today. So I'll start with that. So currently across the world, it's very difficult to get cheap labor for farming. So let's think about how it can change. So let's just imagine a state where if you have AI-enabled devices, you can achieve more from a farm itself. That's where the revolution is going to happen. Let's visualize that frame. A spade goes out automatically to the farm, and Doug's carries the seeds for farming, sowing, all those things. And it's all done by robots. A water sprinkler that detects the water content from the soil, put the water according to it. Another device detects the pH level of the soil and put the fertilizers accordingly. Another computer vision identifies the insects and send them away. The beauty of this approach is that they can do work 24/7, that is day and night, and you just need to power them. If you are not there in your farmland also, the work will continue. So it all applies to, say, for example, you have a cattle field, it doesn't matter. The opportunities are enormous even in this area. So you can think about any such areas and how this is going to change. So let's take one more example. Doing a surgery, I think you might have seen that a lot of surgeries, which is a repeated task, they are all being done by robots now. Even in India, we have it in a lot of big hospitals like Apollo or Forts. All these hospitals have robots doing it. Then the extreme cases is, say, right now for cleaning the drainage, people go into the drainage and clean it. But going forward, everything can be done by a robot. So now let's just get into the next phase of this. So we talked about artificial intelligence. Then what is machine learning? So in the previous example, we talked about farming by using AI, just by artificial intelligence. Now let's bring in ML to the framing. So when ML comes into the picture, it helps the farmer to cultivate, achieve the maximum year over year. So the farmer or the owner of the farm doesn't need to think about how I can improve my production. So the ML will help there. ML meaning machine learning. So I may use ML and AI a lot in this presentation. So just think that ML is machine learning. When we get ML into the farming system, we collect past data and see which cultivation would become profitable at this part of the year. We look at all the history of weather, economy, demands, and other aspects. So one example, when I was doing the presentation in 2020. So one of the example which I picked up at that point of time was, I could see at that point of time, lot of people were doing cardamom farming in Kerala, especially in Idukki district. So that time I was saying that because at that point of time, the price was more than 5,000 rupees for a kg for cardamom. So everyone was doing cardamom farming. And it was clearly evident that the price will come down. And when all these farms which has come up, the price has dropped to say 800 rupees. And for small scale farmers, it wasn't profitable. So that is the problem of normal farming, where you as a farmer or you as a farm land owner not able to predict what is going to come in. So let's take a very simple example. Let's take an example of a 5-acre land and assume this 5-acre land is sufficient for a village to sustain from a food perspective. So by looking at the demand of the village, and if you farm accordingly, the farmer gets benefited. Otherwise, if she or he plants, say, only tomato in his or her entire 5 acres, the whole return will go for a total loss, because the whole village doesn't need just potatoes, right? Or tomatoes. So the other point is that, say, the villagers don't like potatoes, and in half acre, the farmer planted potatoes, then also he or she will not get any returns. This is where ML will come into the picture. For instance, by looking at the past demand history, the ML system will inform to the automated farming system that this year we will not farm potatoes, rather we will farm chili, because that is going to be the in demand for this year. And the weather will be good for chili cultivation. So that will get good returns. From my own experiences, I wanted to share from my experience as well. The previous, I was working in Microsoft Office 365 before this. And there, one of the challenge was that we need to invest our workforce or prioritize our features for next releases. So Office 365, meaning I was specifically working on the PowerPoint, Excel, Outlook, etc. So we used the same technique to prioritize the features. So the same example which I have told you about farming, the same technique we have applied to prioritize the feature development in new areas. We mined the data for past usage, and we could able to provide new features that is useful to customers. And wherever people are spending more time, we tend to improve that user experience more and more. So before I move on, so I just wanted to give you a context or the way we will go in this presentation. So initially I was planning to go into the depth of some of the problem space, but later Twinkle and Juby told me that this will have people from multiple backgrounds. So in this presentation, I am not planning to go into the depth of any of the problem statement or any of the things which I worked on. But if you would like to discuss those things with me, you are happy to reach out to me. I'm really happy to explain any of those things which is really interested to you, any ML algorithm or anything which I might be touching on this presentation. I'll be really happy to explain all those things to you. So I just wanted to touch upon the evolution of AI and ML. So as you see in this presentation, it didn't start in last 10 years or 20 years. It has been evolving over time. The history of AI and ML can be divided into several periods, each of its own achievements, challenges, and paradigms. The following is a brief summary, or whatever you are seeing it on the screen is a brief summary of the main periods and their characteristics. The birth of AI can be termed as 1950s to 1960s. This period marks the emergence of AI as a scientific discipline, inspired by the work of a scientist called Alan Turing, and it was supported by John McCarthy, Marvin Minsky, and others. The main goal of AI was to create machines that can think like human, using simple, at that time, it was using symbolic logic, rules, search, and algorithms.
Yeah. May second Saturday book.
I request to all of you to mute, please.
Okay, no worries. Some of the early achievements of AI included logic theoristic, the general problem solver, and ELIZA. ELIZA was a solution at that point of time. The second wave started, and it was called as AI winter, and it started in 1970s to 1980s. This period, why it was called AI winter? Because we have seen a decline in the AI area, both from research as well as from development, because there were limitations of the symbolic approach, which we have talked, and inefficiency of knowledge, representation, and reasoning methods. The main challenges of AI were the very common problem, the frame problem or scalability problem. These people were not able to map it to a complex system in computer. Some of the alternative paradigms that emerged during this time, you might have heard about this, like fuzzy logic, neural network, expert systems. All those things came in 1980s. Then come the next era, which is resurgence of AI. So this period marks the revival of the AI because advancement in the computational power. And there were a lot of research at that point of time happening in algorithmic techniques, the data availability, and data classification techniques. So it went on, and some of the biggest achievement in this era was IBM's Deep Blue, Google's PageRank, which is used for their search engine, and Microsoft's Kinect, which is the gaming console used in Xbox. So if you don't know what is Kinect, so that was the first sensor where you can play games without using a... Normally you have kind of a console and you will have joystick and that's how you play. But using Kinect, you don't need all those things. Say, for example, if you want to play tennis, you can, or badminton, you can get your racket along with you and you can face Xbox console. And so if two people can also play from different areas. So you just need to stand inside a room, and the same way you play, you just move around in the room and you can have the same experience of playing in a badminton court or tennis court. So the last phase in this is the rise of deep learning. And before I think I may just spend some time on what is deep learning. So deep learning is a machine learning system. So it uses neural networks. So neural networks is nothing but it tries to mimic our neural system, human neural system, that is embedded on computer system. And deep learning is that in a single machine learning model, you will have multiple neural networks placed in order to infer some output. So the current ChatGPT and all LLMs, they use deep learning techniques. So some of the examples of the current generation advancement in AI and ML are Google's AlphaGo, Facebook's DeepFace, and OpenAI's GPT, ChatGPT. AI and ML have found many applications in various fields, such as computer vision, natural language processing, etc. So let's go through. Let me track my time as well, because we will not overshoot. Sorry. So computer vision, this is a common solution across the world right now. It is, so I'll not go into each and everything in detail. So maybe I'll touch upon a couple of them. So computer vision is the field of AI and ML that deals with the analysis and understanding of visual information, such as images and videos. Some of the tasks that computer vision can perform include face recognition, object detection, scene segmentation, image captioning, and video analysis. Some of the benefits of computer vision include enhancing security, improving surveillance, facilitating e-commerce, enabling augmented reality, whatever it is, right? So I'll just take a couple of examples, which is from my work experiences itself. So I believe it was in 2018. So in Hyderabad, one of the major problem was overspeeding in roads, because Hyderabad has very good infrastructure. So what we have discussed with the police department at that point of time is that, and another problem is that Hyderabad police was having a shortage of police constables who can monitor and then issue challans to folks. So then we were there was a good commissioner at that point of time. So we were discussing the problem with, because there were a lot of accidents happening, fatal accidents happening because of overspeeding inside the city. So if we wanted to get the speed guns, which we normally use for capturing speed violations, so that would be a lot of effort, and government may not give those many speed guns to the police department. And secondly, it also needs people to operate. Speed gun cannot be automated end to end at that point of time. So the solution which we have come up was that, so we used the normal cameras which are placed in, because different areas had a lot of cameras. The camera surveillance system of Hyderabad, very good. So what we have done is that we wrote a software that extracts the frames from CCTV camera, which is facing the road. And then we wrote another program which will calculate the speed by analyzing the frames that we get from the CCTV camera footage. And with this, so this was only one software which we developed, but we deployed it for the whole Hyderabad area. So with that, the police could able to enforce by generating the tickets. So the police could catch people, and then that is when they get to know that they violated the speed rule. And it really helped to bring down the accident rate of Hyderabad at that point of time. So the fatality accidents due to overspeeding has come down by 82% from 2019 to 2020. So that is the advantage of all these AI and ML. So in all the places we can use this. So I have multiple such examples, but I will not go into all those things. So if any of these things, if you have any doubt, so I'll not go into the details of all these sections. So I'll maybe touch upon another thing, say, which is interested to all of us, which is education. So in education, AI and ML can be used to improve the learning and teaching processes, say, such as curriculum assessment, feedbacks, personalization. So some of the tasks that education can perform in this field, including generating questions, grading answers, providing feedback, and adapting contents. So just say, for example, even for generating questions, right? So if you have a model that is ready on, say, for example, let's take, say, English as a subject or maths as a subject or statistics as a subject. So the model is trained with the data of, say, previous questions and how kids have performed over time. So we can say to the system saying that this time pick up, say, give a kind of, so let's have it as difficulty level. And then do you want direct questions and indirect questions? Do you want multiple choice questions or descriptive answers? All those things you can feed into the system, and the system can generate the questions for you. And the next part is that while the valuation, you don't need a teacher to evaluate the paper. So even though the answers are not exactly same as what is there in the textbook, but if it conveys the message, so then we can use LLM. So first is we can have a system that reads the newspaper, convert the image to text, and that text can be fed into the system, the LLM, large language model, which is the system that is being used by ChatGPT and all other generative AI solutions right now. So the valuation also can happen automatically. So all other thing, I'm not going into the details. So let me jump on to the next slide. So as we discussed in the previous slides, any complicated repeated task can be done by machine itself. In some time, we will have a lot of driverless cars in our roads. I'm 110% sure that even in Indian roads, it will be possible with the advancement happening in AI and ML. So the farming will be done by machines only, the same example we have seen earlier. Like the way mobile and internet have become part of our daily life. So see, if you look back, say 20 years back or 25 years back, we would not have imagined that internet will be accessible to everyone or mobile will be accessible to everyone in the same way which we have today. And 20 years down the line, AI and ML will be accessible to each and every one, because at the end of the day, it is getting delivered through internet and it is getting delivered through any of the platform like mobile or a normal computer. So it will be accessible to everyone. So let's take the example of farming itself during advanced ML techniques. So I just wanted to add more to the same example which we have talked earlier and how it will be after. So the farming sector will be after some time. With the democratization of AI, all farmers should be able to access all the technologies in AI, like the way we have internet and mobile now. The scenario is going to be like this. Let's take short-term crops, any short-term crop. So for instance, let's take, say, banana. So the AI system will predict what is a profit crop for next year. Depending upon the, so let's say that AI predicted banana is going to be the best short-term crop for me for next year. So then the next session is that depending upon the best yield banana, the system places order to get the bulb or rhizome or sucker off the plant from some place. Then driverless vehicle delivers those bulbs to your farmland. The robot takes the bulbs and plant it in the farm. The IoT devices are the devices which are connected to internet, and those devices also will have AI enablement going forward. So IoT meaning Internet of Things. And those IoT devices in the farm detects the pH level. So depending upon the pH level, you need to decide what kind of manure you need to put in, right? And moisture level of the soil. So the system understands that for banana, this is the maximum moisture level that is needed for soil, and this is the minimum. So whenever the minimum level goes below what is expected, the sprinkler will start automatically and start putting the water. So the irrigation is also completely automated. And whenever the pH level goes down or goes up, the corresponding fertilizers will be put by the robot itself. The AI-enabled camera, the same computer vision example which we talked earlier, right? So that detects any pest which are coming in. And based on your selection, if you want organic or chemical pesticides, it will be applied. The next part of this is that, so if you get light in the nighttime also, the yield will be doubled because the plant will grow in night as well. So for that, because right now the hydrogen cells are expanding, or maybe in 10, 20 years, hydrogen cells also will be part of our life as well. So using hydrogen bulbs or solar systems, we will be able to give lights to the farm and you will get 2 times yield with this. So this is just a picturization of the realities of about AI and ML that can. So I'm just picking one example, but any industry or any area you take, so like the way we have talked about education, right? Everywhere the democratization will happen. So these are some real life stories from my own experience when I was working in Microsoft or any other, like the way I told you about my experience with Hyderabad police, right? So I'm not planning to go to all these things because these include a lot of details into the technical details. So that may not be interesting for a lot of folks. So any of these things, if it is interesting to your taste, please reach out to me. I'm happy to discuss more. So I'll move on from here. So initially, I have prepared all these things thinking that I'll go into some of the technical details of any of this problem. But because we have a variety of audience here, so I'll just move on. So the next generation opportunities, I believe I wanted to prioritize mathematics and statistics are the 2 areas which will create a lot of opportunities in next 10, 20 years. So all the machine learning system works on mathematics and statistics. So say for example, even for a neural network, the basic building block is deterministic finite automata. So that is a mathematical concept. And if you want to build any prediction system, first you wanted to understand which is the statistical model I should use for the prediction system. Say for instance, last year we started building on a model where we wanted to predict failures when we write code for office product. So the initial 6 months we spent in analyzing multiple statistical system, which is available in the, or whatever we know of, say, some of you might be remembering this. We have studied theory in statistics, which is called maximum likelihood estimation. So at the end, we have picked up that as the solution for our problem. So we need to go through multiple iteration of data and everything. So we landed on maximum likelihood estimation. And then what method we should use in maximum likelihood estimation. So we tried out multiple algorithms for that and closed on Bayesian inference. So a mathematician or a statistic researcher who has done research in this area, say, for example, a person who had done just statistics for last, say, 10 years, and they would have picked up this problem, the problem which I explained, they could be able, or mostly they would be able to solve that problem maybe 10x faster than what I did. Because I studied about all these things in, say, I think 2000, in my second semester in BCA. I had to revise all those things. And then, because while we study, we don't work on this kind of a big data set, right? So I was working on a data set problem where per day we were getting more than 10 terabytes of data. So we had to work on that much big data set. So I had to go on multiple iteration to close on which statistical model I have to use. And then go through any other mathematical problems or whatever it is, right? And then select the corresponding one. So I would say from next 10, 20 years, people who are really interested in mathematics and statistics will get a lot of job opportunity, specifically if they do a lot of research. And the second thing is that there will be scarcity of talent, because currently people, specifically in India, we tend to send our kids to only engineering and medicine areas. So say for example, I have seen in colleges where BSc Mathematics and MSc Mathematics courses were closing down. So there will be a scarcity of talent going forward. And the second part is it's associated with mathematics and statistics, but all the science field will have lot of research and advancement opportunity. The same way we were talking about the farming area, how it will evolve, right? So if you don't do a lot of research in zoology, that place will not evolve. And the same way we were talking about healthcare, and there we need chemical experiments, and people wanted to go to a different planet. So if you don't advance in physics, you will not be able to do all those things. So all these things, so because we have a shortage of time, I don't want to go into the details, but I'll be happy to go into any of these things in details next time when we speak. And engineering also, it will go up very fast, but the thing is that all the engineering problems will need good mathematicians or statisticians. So engineering with a good understanding of mathematics or statistics will help you to form your career much faster or much advanced. So in the midst, I just wanted to, I know we are running short of time, but in the midst, I just wanted to try out one thing so what I did was that everyone says that AI will create bad impact on the world and people will be out of jobs, authenticity of data. So the thing is that how you use the AI is the whole thing. So what I did was that I asked ChatGPT to create a biography of our Roy HN on both Word as well as on PowerPoint. And I shared that with Roy HN. So let me share you those documents. That will tell you the myths of AI. Give me a second. So are you able to see my screen?
We can see the screen, but not
Okay.
that big to read. Yeah.
Let me zoom it out. It's not readable, Juby?
Not easily. You can, yes.
If we zoom it, we can read.
Is it better now, Juby?
Yes, we can read it now easily.
Okay. So this is a document which AI generated. And what I asked AI is just 2 sentences. So instead of Roy Abraham Pazhaya Parampil, I have given us just Roy Abraham. And I asked system to generate a biography of Roy Abraham. And I gave one more point, which says that Reverend Father Dr. Roy Abraham was a principal of Marian College. So this was the input which I gave to the system. And I asked it to generate a biography. So each instruction which we give to the system, which is called prompts. And here I gave 3 prompts. One is the person's name is Reverend Father Dr. Roy Abraham. And second prompt is he was a principal of Marian College, Kutikanam. And third prompt was create a biography for this particular person. And this is what the system generated. And as you see, most of the things are not right. So this I have given to Royachan. Thanks to Royachan for helping me here. And Royachan reviewed it, and wherever it is not right, he made it with red color. And wherever things are not exactly right, say, for example, he has put in here as exaggerated, and here also exaggerated. So what I wanted to say is that this is how, when it comes to AI, how you can use it to the best of it, or you get something and you believe in it. And the prompts which you give to the system, so that is one of the things which will advance in coming up years. And there is a research which is happening also, which is called few shot engineering. So with limited prompts, how can you generate optimum content? So that is what is few shot engineering. And few shot engineering will help you to generate quality AI content from here. So I will shift to another. So here I have added one more prompt. So here I said that Reverend Father Dr. Roy Abraham is belonging to Kanjarapalli Diocese. So that's an extra thing which I added. And by just adding that one extra prompt, so only one thing was not correct. That is this photo. Other than this, all other contents were, there was one more wrong. So other than this, in this 8th slide presentation, all other things were correct. So the system said that Rohichan is a talented musician. And when the system generates this kind of not so right information, that process is called hallucination of the AI models. So I know we are running out of time, but I just wanted to show you one last one. So
And most of my request is don't think about the time. The session is going very interesting. I hope everyone will agree with that. So maybe you can just don't worry about little bit overshooting.
okay, I'll stop with this slide, Twinkle. I don't want to take, because everyone has their own personal time as well, so I don't want to eat it. So this is another one which I created, but here I'll show you the prompt which I have shared with the system as well. Give me a second. Sorry, I'm working on multiple. So this is the prompt which I gave to the correct PPT, which had only right information. So I added with person's name, then gave a context, then gave some more facts about Royachan. Then I said that where he is, then create a presentation. And when I gave all these 4 prompts, then it could be able to generate the presentation without any problem. So one of the things where we will be able to make best out of it, we may need to make ourselves, because it is not a big thing, right? It is just about providing the information that completes the story. So it can be about a person, it can be about a say country, it can be about a state or wherever it is, right? So that is where the biggest problem is. Say right now the elections are happening in India, so the AI can generate anything for anyone. So say in order to define a person, AI content can be created. But in order to project some of the things which is not right, that also AI can be generated. Sorry, AI content can be generated. So in going forward, obviously there will be systems which will be easily able to identify, whereas things is AI generated, what is the authenticity of those things. But currently we don't have all this thing. So that is a major problem of today's world. We'll not be able to identify where something is AI generated and what is the authenticity of that problem. But it will happen. But today my whole suggestion is that whatever content coming in social media, don't believe it fully. Please do your judgment or your analysis to find that authenticity of that content and believe it, because there are right now internet and mobile are accessible to everyone. So lot of contents which are getting circulated in the platform, and it will create a lot of problem also. So as educated people or as people who know about the world, we should help the community to identify this kind of problems and help them to make the right decision. So that's the best thing which we can do in today's world. And with that, let me conclude. I know I have taken 10 minutes extra, but hope it would be something interesting to all of you. And thank you all, and let's get into question and answer session if there are any.
Yeah, thank you, Anumod. I don't think we don't mind spending another 5-10 minutes extra, because it was really wonderful session. You have thrown lights to all areas of AI, and we don't expect anything less than this from a MCA rank holder, university rank holder, and a person who is with Microsoft dealing AI and ML for more than 17, 18 years. So yeah, now it's time for the question and answer session. Let me start with the first question. So, I mean, since you already said that in social media, we come across so many things. So what about this quantum AI, Elon Musk? Is it a scam, or is there any truth in it?
So, I mean, there are a lot of buzzwords going in AI world. So the one which I talked to you about, the supercomputer, right? So that is the basic of any. So it's all about how you can, it's not a myth, it's a reality. So what it does is that it connects the same way as how cloud performs, but here what you're saying is that you're connecting multiple computers together. And in a normal computer, currently you have 8 core, 16 core, like that. But in a quantum computing or supercomputing, wherever it is, what is happening is that each computer is acting as a core, and there would be thousands of such computer connected together, and those will act as a supercomputer. And even in today's world, the ChatGPT's model, it is getting trained in a supercomputer network, not on single machine. And this will help to derive more information, because at the end of the day, the more data you give to a system, the better answer you will get it back. So whatever Musk is saying is not wrong. It will happen, and it is happening.
Hi, Anumod.
Hey, Toby.
Nice to see you. Actually, Anumod is my batchmate. Anumod, I just have one question. I am actually working for a company called Epsilon. Epsilon is mostly into data science, and now I am learning AI. So, can you tell me how both this data science will be helpful for AI? Is it like both go in parallel? Because I heard if you are good in data science, that would really help to prepare algorithms for this AI. Is it true?
Yeah, it is true. So, I mean, people use different terminologies for all these processes. So the same example which I was saying about how we have closed on one statistical model and the corresponding algorithm to come up with a prediction system. So if we would have had a good data science who analyzed that petabytes of data coming in, and then if he would have worked with a good statistician, then we would have zeroed down on a solution. So here we took almost 6 months to come to a solution. But if there was a good data science who analyzed those data and come up with the pattern, and then he passed on that data to a statistician, then they could have solved that problem, could be within 1 month. But we didn't have that expertise. So we had to go through multiple iteration, and then it took 6 months for us. So you're right. Data science, a good data scientist can fast track any problem solving in AI and ML space.
Thank you.
Anumod, question.
Yeah.
See, what may be the new job opportunities which AI may be generating? And also, will it replace any of existing jobs or change the nature? Where the new generation should focus on the skills and competencies.
So the same way I have explained in the presentation, right? So the job, maybe the horizon will change, but I don't think there will be loss for existing people. Only thing, as I started in the first, or as I said in the first slide, so if you keep yourself up to date with the technology that is happening, you'll not be out of the race. So I don't think there will be job loss, but the thing is that everyone has to think. Say, for example, if someone who is in a tech industry and if they are doing some manual jobs day by day, so then they need to think about that, how this manual job can get into an automated system. So if they think in that direction, their jobs will not be affected. Or let's take an example of the computer revolution itself, right? I don't know how many of you or think about or remember about the things which happened in that time. So there were a lot of banks were vandalized at that point of time when computerization of the bank started during that time, because people were thinking that the jobs of people who are working in banks will be gone, but nothing happened. So everyone learned about how to use computer. That's it. Only thing is that the efficiency improved there. Or let's take manufacturing industry, right? So I have visited multiple automobile manufacturing plants. So everywhere, the whole assembly line is managed by robots right now. But there are a lot of people who have joined these companies, say 30 years back, 40 years back. At that point of time, there was no automation at all. But they all have the jobs right now. Only thing is that earlier, for a car manufacturing, the time was 10 to 15 years to get a new product. But now we are getting it in 1 year, 2 year time frame. That's all. The pace is changing, but I don't think it will eliminate any jobs. Secondly, about the opportunities, right? So this is my thinking, and whatever I have learned or I have read, I believe that mathematics and statistics will create a lot of job opportunities in next 10, 20 years. The same way it created a lot of opportunities for computer programmers starting from 90s to now. In the same way, for the next 20, 30 years, most of the jobs will be on people who are very good in mathematics and statistics.
No, I have a follow-up question. So I understood when you're saying it's only the horizon is changing. Say from a finance background, the core skills were okay, the bookkeeping skills or the financial analysis skills, financial reporting skills. But now with artificial intelligence, the new systems will read all these numbers and they can produce more efficient financial report. They can give financial analysis. So the main question is the core competencies of a finance professional in analyzing some numbers from the financial reports. All these are getting replaced by artificial intelligence. Will that be a challenge? And whether all these core specific areas now are getting replaced by machines? And as you said, the focus should be more on the skills related with mathematics and statistics. So the proportion of those competencies, whether there will be any change?
I don't think, because so the same example, right? So because in computer revolution, what we have seen is that all the mechanical stuff which used to happen, it was taken by computers. Now, and repeated task. Now you are saying that the analysis, what you are doing and all those, say for example, bookkeeping and then analyzing the balance sheet and then coming up with forecasting budget numbers, all those things, right? So these are also something, wherever there is a repeated task happening, that is where mostly AI and ML come in. And then obviously inference will add something to it. But just think about the same way that, so the system will give you the numbers, but there has to be someone who goes through these numbers and then maybe fine-tune the system. So that is where you or we as a human being, where the value add will come in. So the system will move faster, but that will not eliminate the jobs. Only thing is that you need to be, say, for example, I talked about few shot engineering, right? So you need to see that how few shot engineering can help in, say, business domain, marketing domain, or finance domain. That updates you need to do. So what is happening and how it is going to come in here. So if you get to know that, and I mean, there could be some disruption in private companies. I am not denying that fact. But if you get updated with the technologies, that will help you to grow in that whatever domain which you are in.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Hey, Anumod, excellent presentation. So I have a question. I'm a statistician. What is the demand for current statistics? No, you said next 20 years will be for statistics, mathematics, and so on. So what will be current demand for current graduates in data science or statistics or mathematics majors?
Thank you, teacher, and thank you for teaching me statistics in BCA. So at that
Yeah.
point of time, I felt that why should I learn all these theories? And now only I am
Yeah.
understanding why it's needed. So as
Yeah.
per my understanding, so the industry is looking for people who have good research background in mathematics and statistics at this point of time. There is a big scarcity. So, and specifically people who have good understanding of computer algorithms and a knack of either mathematics or statistics. So they will be the best sorted out people for next 5 years for sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
Okay,
when
so
we-
I actually for the that's what I was about to say. Like, I think all we're looking for experienced people, not for like without experience. Because we
teacher-
have students with all this, we have students. So I have to tell them, okay, why you should, a couple of students came back to me. I know I have students working in Google, but some of them saying that, now the demand for fresh graduates is kind of low. I don't know
So
that's correct or not.
the problem currently is that teacher, during COVID time,
Yeah.
people overhired. I mean, all the companies, say for example, in
Yeah.
Microsoft, our growth rate was 6% year over year from a
Yeah.
headcount perspective. But during COVID time, every year it went up by 30%. So that means there was an overhiring of 5 times.
Yeah.
So
That's the reason.
now when that demand came down, right? Because everyone thought that the industry will go to a different direction because of COVID
Yeah,
and
yeah.
will
Yeah,
last
yeah.
for long. So people were taking, so a lot of people were hired. Now
I
that was an
understand. Yeah.
inorganic growth. Now
Yeah.
the system has to set in. So this we talk as in everywhere, right? An equilibrium state. So the
Yeah,
system
yeah.
has to get into that equilibrium state again. It may take
Yeah.
another 3-4 years, but sadly, the new graduates are getting affected because of this process.
That's yeah.
So
Yeah.
the thing is that, say, for example, even in Microsoft, oh, it's getting recorded. Okay, so
Sorry,
So-
sorry guys for yeah. Means only if you have time, otherwise I'll talk to you later. Yeah. Thank you.
no. What I was saying is that as a company, we don't want people to let go. So what?
Yeah, you want to
we are-
keep them, but you don't want to
Yeah.
hire more. It's kind of
Yeah.
hiring freeze.
Correct. So
Yeah.
what I think that this guy, at least to reach back to the normality of the normal hiring which used to happen before COVID, I think it will take another 2-3 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the current graduates are affected right now.
Yeah. That's a sad story, but this is the reality.
I have a personal thing in that because my I don't know whether this is the right platform, but my daughter graduated in computer science and statistics, and she got a lot of offers 2 years back. Then she went for data science masters. Now she is graduating now, and the offers are not that many. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
reason I was.
Yeah.
So it's kind of true. Yeah, very good. Which algorithm you are using a lot in machine learning? What is and also what is the programming language? Python? Which one you are using?
Oh, so the algorithm we pick up based on the data problem, the same way I said, right? So we selected basic inference. So based on that, say, for example, in another problem, we have selected Kruskal algorithm. So, and for, it all depends on the data set. And so the same question Toji asked, right? So if there is a good data science who can give us patterns, then a statistician can easily say that which algorithm to use it. So, but we are doing all these things. And from a technology perspective, in industry, maximum machine learning modeling happens with PyTorch, which is
Python, okay.
It is an open source.
I know.
But inside Microsoft, we have another open source language, which is called Torch Sharp, which is
What's it called?
Torch Sharp.
Oh, Torch Sharp. Okay.
So the advantage of that is that you get all the functionalities of PyTorch in C#. So if you are good in object-oriented programming, then Torch Sharp is a good platform to try it out.
Oh, very good. Okay. Thank you so much. So maybe I will invite you sometime for talk in our university. I don't know. Let us see.
I'll be happy to do that.
Thank you so much. Yeah. It's very nice to see you all.
Same here.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Any other questions? If you have any more questions, you can put in the chat, and definitely the Zoom will be open for another 10-15 minutes. Now it's a time to say a word of thanks. I invite Toji.
Thank you, Juby. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to, give vote of thanks for this career talk. Let me introduce myself. I am Toji Sebastian, a batchmate from Marian College, Kutikanam, 96-99 batch, and a college mate of Anumod and UBC Baby. Also, thank you for Florence Miss to be here. Like we heard, she was a great teacher who taught us about statistics, and like what Anumod was telling, now we are really understanding what is the value of statistics. We learned, and I'm actually into statistics as well since I'm doing data science. So thank you, Anumod, for finding a time. I know it's early morning for you, 8 o'clock, and giving us such a great, inspiring talk about this future revolutionary. I was very inspired to be part of this career talk the moment I saw this in our group chat, because I am actually into this. Let me tell you something about Anumod first of all. I know Anumod even before coming to Marian College, because we were actually schoolmates in St. Anthony's Public School, Anakal, the +2. So we are actually friends since then. The good point I would like to say about Anumod is he's a good human being. Even with this presentation, if you try to listen to his talk, you could see the values he's bringing to this talk. And that's why he's in Microsoft for 18 years. Okay, because usually people try to switch jobs because they want more money, more kind of remuneration. They don't stick into companies because they are only thinking from the monetary perspective. But if you look at the profile of Anumod, I have seen a person staying with a company for 18 years and seeing the ups and downs of the company and still being a part of the company. I think that is some of the values as alumni we should actually learn to be a good human being. And the way he talks, his hard work, its commitments, everything is included in that. So I think this talk was really effective for us to understand how each and every alumni has to be and how they can contribute back to the campus or the college where they were in. And I hope everybody who joined this call has learned a lot about this AI revolutionary. And I'm sure we would have a lot of questions. Questions are always appreciated. I'm sure Anumod will be happy to answer any of the questions. So thank you, Juby and the coordinators for arranging this session. And thank you all for joining this career talk from various parts of this world. Thank you. Thank you all. God bless you.
Thank you, Toji.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Toji, for, receiving that last minute thing, to say a lot of thanks. Thank you. And now we have Twinkle. I think we can, Jyoti, we can open the Zoom for another 10 minutes, right? And you can still ask questions, or we can have a chit chat. Now it is dinner